I just want to tell you right now, it's at the end. The window is closing. I mean, it's closing, in my opinion. And by what's closing, closing is the opportunity to preserve your wealth, what you have. If you have anything in the Federal Reserve notes, in the currency that's going around, that's you're forced to use for commerce. So if you have 401k, IRAs, stuff in the stock market, all that stuff, this window is closing. And I've been talking about it for a while now, but now it's urgent, in my opinion. It's almost shut. It's any day, any time, any minute. And by that being said, what happens? I mean, you're feeling inflation already. You go to the grocery store, you feel inflation. Gas pump, you feel inflation. You look at there, you're looking for a home. You're looking to build, you feel inflation. You're buying lumber, you're feeling the inflation. Anything you're out there purchasing, really, you're feeling inflation. Even if it's available, which some things are not available because they're becoming scarce because of the rise, the inflation and the rise of the cost of things, the services and the goods that are available, if they're available. So I'm saying this window's closing, and if you don't have assets now, what you have is vulnerable. That's if you have currency, if you have savings, if you have 401k and IRA, if you have stuff in the stock market, that is the main thing that's going to be wiped. Maybe not go to zero, but pretty close. So any power you have to purchase the things you need or wish to have is dwindling. I've said that for a while. Now it's melting. It's melting like an ice cube on a hot summer day. It's melting. That's what's happening. You hold that paper in your hand that they call currency that you can use to purchase goods and services. That's the value of it is just withering away. It's melting like I said, an ice cube on a hot summer day. So what can you do? What should you do? That's up to you. I'm just throwing some stuff out here of what myself and my family have done and what we continue to do to this day. The main thing is, the cheapest thing is silver. And we're at the point now, gold and silver always, but we're at the point now where it's silver. If you go to coin shows, you can get bullion. By bullion, I mean straight up silver, 100% silver almost, 99.9% silver. Same with gold. So back when you were going to coin shows last year, the year before, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, this was one of the main deals to find was your American Eagle. This is the 2020 American Eagle. And this has the face value, well, not face value, the value of what the rate for silver is, plus the markup to it. So if it has a spot price. If the gold, or the silver spot price is $30, we'll say, I believe it's just a little below that right now, then your markup is going to be, you have to pay, what do you have to pay over spot? So for an Eagle, it's going to be higher than a generic round, like a Buffalo or some other generic round. So this is American Eagle. Let's say the spot's $30, which it's a little below that right now. And your markup on this, because of the situation we're in, because of all the money printing and all the currency creation that we're in, right now I believe the average is $10 markup on 1 ounce of silver. You can find it for $6 marked up at places if you can find them, and some places that's a $12 markup, and even more online. So for 1 ounce of silver, for an American Eagle, that's the markup. It's above spot, is what they call that. So you can go buy an Eagle for $3 above spot. That used to be the case a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. $3 above spot or $4 above spot. Right now, this is on average $10 above spot. So $10 above the value that this is at, that silver's at. So, and this was back in the day. It's like, well, if we're buying silver, we're going to go get a pristine one, a nice shiny one. You know, whether it's new or old, it has to be nice and shiny, and you could pick and choose between all the different ones they had there for, you know, what kind of shape they're in, that kind of stuff. Now that window's closing, I just got to do a little visual here. Now it doesn't matter. I mean, there's a little more value to ones that are shiny and look like that, in good condition as always, everything. Right now it doesn't really matter. because it's about preserving and protecting your wealth and your power, your purchasing power. This right here, this is an American Eagle. This one, oh, I can't even read the date fast. I believe it's in early 2001. This has been in a wreck, in a war, if you want to call it, or battles. It had ink on it. It looks like it's been in many pockets. It looks like it's been dropped. It looks like it's been cleaned numerous times. It lost all the original finish. It's been beat down. It's been through, like I said, a war or battles. Right now, this here is a lot better, 10 times, 100 times, 200 times, 1,000 times better than holding your paper currency. Because this right here, this is silver. Silver has real value. Silver has real use. Silver that's wanted by, like, Elon Musk and the people doing the autonomous cars. Excuse me, I just dropped that. And used by people with using computers, doing computers. All the new technology that's out now, and the forced technology, forced use of your solar panels. A lot of silver is used in those. So it's in demand because of its use, because of its desire for creation. Also, it has a monetary element to it. It always has. It's even written in the Constitution. Gold and silver should be used for commerce. They're known as money for this country, which we have no longer abided by that really. But if you go down the roots, gold and silver, that, my friend, even that garbage looking one that's been through battles, that has value, a lot more value. You know, I just got to get it out there. That should have 10 times, 100 times, 200 times, 1,000 more times more desire than to hold paper. This paper currency that you're forced to use to pay your taxes and for commerce, which is outrageous. But if you're holding that, you're losing. You're losing. Every second, every minute, every hour, you're losing purchasing power. Inflation's here. You're feeling some of it. It's at the very, very, very beginning. And once it starts to go, it's like lighting a match. That flame is slow in the beginning, but once it starts to burn, it takes off, and before you know it, that match is burned up. And that's what's going to happen. It's here. And I can't say this enough. It's time, if you haven't been trying to get stuff to preserve your wealth. Now's the time, and its window's closed. Almost closed. Sorry. Almost closed. It's closing. So, when it comes to inflation, who gets hurt? Everyone who gets hurt are the middle class, the poor people, everyone that doesn't have any assets, everyone holding any sort of wealth. I mean, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, that's your wealth. If that's what you have, if that's all you have in your home or you're renting, once this hyperinflation things and everything goes to zero and everything gets revamped, everything gets reset for this monetary thing, those people are the ones that lose the most. The ones who float to the top and win out and survive the best are the rich, as always, and those people prepared, the people who have assets, whether that's gold, silver. It could be, if you have silverware, actual silverware, hold on to that. Who cares if it's bent, dinged, whatever. Looks like that's silver. That's 90% silver. It's actually sterling silver. So it's 92.5% silver. So it's got wealth. It's got a use. It's worth something. Once this paper becomes worthless because of all the time, every time, that fiat currency, it goes to zero. That's its main value, is zero. Ultimately, it's nothing. It's just propped up, and it's like pretend. We're playing a game of pretend with this paper, and people put a value on it because we're told to. It doesn't have value. It has no use. And we're going to find that out real fast because inflation is here. It's just starting, and it's going to be horrendous. The people that are not prepared are going to lose out, and they're going to suffer. The poor, the middle class, the vulnerable people are going to suffer. I hate to see that, but it always happens. It always happens. So be prepared. I mean, just if you got, $50 to your name. Buy an ounce of silver. Buy something. I mean, that's going to have some real value. That's going to hold on to it. Go to antique shops. Go to, garage sales. Go to flea markets. Do they have silverware? And is it really 92.5% silver? Does it have silver in it? Real silver? Buy them. Buy the stuff. Hold it until this is over. Once this is over, and it's going to be fast, like I said, you're going to preserve your wealth of some sort, some way, because you're not holding anything of real value. You're going to lose. And that's the plan. That's what always happens. Hyperinflation, when that hits, that's like, bam, overnight. It's like, I didn't even know it started. It's over before you know it. That comes right after this inflation thing that we're in, and we're seeing it. It's big. It feels like 10, 11%, 12% is going on. They're trying to hold it down behind the scenes. But as soon as, the dog's let loose, the dog goes, and he runs. So I just want to say, so on top of that, always remember, what's the most valuable thing? Besides your family, your community, to now have enough food, have enough water, shelter, that kind of thing. Those are the most valuable things. I also put in there to have stuff for protection, some sort of weaponry. Guns and ammo is my forte. And I believe you come down to a crash situation, and when people are bartering, I believe, at least I feel, one of the top items that's going to be sought after for barter is going to be ammunition. Because right now it's still tough to find stuff, different calibers, and it's still a good barter tool right now. It's still in high demand, but once everything gets wiped, not everything, but once we get dropped down and then our money goes to nothing, our money gets wiped, the currency, they call it money, is done, then we're down to the barter situation. Whether it's all digit or not, they're trying to get us in the digital dollar. Either way, it's just the same, even worse, because there's not even paper to burn there. So once that goes to zero and people have no confidence in it, everything is barterable. So that's where your silver comes into play, your silverware, your old coinage from 1944 and older, your old silver, I should say old silver coinage. Anything else that has any sort of value, skills, food, water, any sort of shelter you can provide or you can help with, that kind of stuff. And I believe on the top of that list, or near the top, is ammunition. Guns and ammo, but primarily ammunition. Because in my opinion, a gun is pretty worthless without ammunition. It's sort of like having a wallet with no bills going there, or no credit cards, or nothing that's valuable to go in that wallet. Same with a purse. You can have a purse, but if it's not holding anything valuable, anything of use to you, what good is it? It's just a piece of cloth or leather or whatever it's made of. There's no value to it. There's no use to it, really. Same with a gun. Whether the gun's made of polymer, plastic, or the gun is, all silver. All metal. If there's no ammunition, the gun, there's no use to it. It's nothing. You could throw it, whatever you can throw a rock to. So that's why I'm a big, big supporter of people being prepared with ammunition, food, water, shelter. Get out there in your community. Try to figure out how to grow a garden if you have the room for a garden, or inside your house. Sprouts are easy. Potted plants, plants that grow in a pot in your house. It's easy. Doesn't have to be a ton. If you have room for a ton, great. If you don't, at least you have something. Water, if you have access to water somewhere besides what's going on your tap, that would be great. And then you need some sort of filtration for it. And there's different options. Look them up. They're not horribly expensive, but I believe they're going to be horribly desired and sought after once there comes a time for that. I just flash back to the toilet paper debacle, last year, 2020. In 2018, 2019, I could have been a rich man if I would have bet someone. I bet you $2 million. I'll give you $5,000 if I'm wrong. If I'm right, you give me $2 million, or you get my $5,000. That people are going to be fighting to the death almost in big box stores at Walmart for toilet paper. People would have said I was insane. I should be, put away, locked up, because I'm speaking gibberish. Same way with someone who told me, in 2017, 2018, that everyone around the world is going to be masked up, wearing masks for everything. You can't even have your business open. You can't even go get a haircut. You can't even cut people's hair, like happened 2020 at different times. I would have said, you're nuts, you're crazy. But it happened. So I just want to say what I'm saying right now. Whether you think it sounds crazy or not, it's here. It's here, it's happening. Whether you feel it happening, it is happening. Everyone that I've talked to, that I've dealt with, feels it now, and they're like, oh yeah, this is going on, something's not right. So that's what I'm saying. There's a small window left. The window is closing. There's a small opportunity left. The window's closing. And you got to take advantage of it. That's my opinion. You got to hop on it. Take advantage of it. All right? So I know I probably repeated myself a few times. Sorry for that. But as always, thank you for watching. Stay vigilant. Protect yourself. Protect your wealth. Protect your family. And protect your health.